Hello and welcome. I'm your host, William Liu. You're listening to the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. Joining me today is co-host Alex Wong. And quite frankly, the most topical Italian on the planet right now, Joseph Casciaro, is joining us for live reaction to the new selection of the latest Pope. What's going on, Cash?
What's going on, guys? Yo, imagine just doing an hour of Pope talk. Just Pope takes. You want me to play the stereotypical Italian characters upset that Pope's not Italian? No, that ain't me. I'm not from Woodbridge. I'm not.
Do you have a scouting report on this new Pope?
Yeah, well, doing a little background research on him there. It seems like he's got some worldly experience. You know, it seems like he really filled out that resume. Apparently, he's only been a Cardinal for 2 years. It's a pretty big jump. You know, this is like a sophomore winning MVP or something in the NBA. It's pretty remarkable jump.
Yeah, usually when the white smoke goes up, it means a call for cash to Hong Shing, man. Yeah, this one's a little different.
Damn. Got me in my feels now. I'm going to have some FOMO for your next Hong Shing.
Oh, man.
You know, also, can I just say, because of the way the camera's cutting us, Alex's Leafs practice jersey, whatever that is just showing the NHL center ice logo, and it reminds me of Rob Lowe wearing the NFL hat.
Oh my god.
He's just a fan of the league.
Yeah, he's just an NHL fan.
If you had to rep one league logo on a hat or a toque, which one would you pick?
That's tough.
Oh man.
Yeah. Would it be the NBA? I feel like it would
be the NBA. Yeah, if it was just a league, it'd be.
Because NFL is you're straight up just Rob Lowe at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
MLB, no one's trying to be a Rob Manfred stand.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it would have to be NBA. It would have to be NBA.
I mean, if we expand this, I feel like Premier League with the lion would be kind of sick, actually.
Rock that Serie A logo.
Does Premier League? Oh yeah,
Serie A.
Yo, I'll rock a Serie B logo, man.
Yo, somebody said CBL. With respect to the CBL.
Yeah, come on, guys. With all due respect, come on.
How about World Cup 2002?
Oh my god,
dude, that's the most.
Oh my god.
I mean, do you want to talk ball today? Because I could give you 48 minutes without you guys getting a word in on how Italy was robbed in 2002. Man.
Yo, for the record, me and Alex are Chinese. Okay, for the audience.
Come on, man.
We're innocent in this, man.
You know, this is man.
By the way, the 2002 World Cup is hilarious for me because that was the last one that China was in, and China is notoriously terrible at soccer.
They played Brazil the first game.
They had to play Brazil exactly.
I took them on Pro Line. Yeah,
I love.
It was like Ronaldinho, Robinho, Ronaldo.
Yeah,
I was crying.
I love you guys telling me that you're Chinese, not Korean. As if I'm like Theo Vaughn with Bobby Leon, some raid. Come on, man. You know, just for the record, audience, I was aware of that.
Yeah.
Well, it was just for our own safety that we identify that we're not in front of an Italian.
Yeah, it's Asian Heritage Month is going terribly on this show, man.
What do you mean? We got Cash on, man.
Oh, Cash, we were saying the other time, on another show that Rob Pelinka is more handsome than Bobby Webster. You want to weigh in on that one? I
mean, look, we're talking about Rob Lowe. Rob Pelinka does look like Rob Lowe, and I mean, many people will tell you that Rob Lowe is, one of the first of all, ageless wonder. The guy looks practically the same at 50 or 60 as he did at 30. That's a tough one, man. I think both guys.
Don't worry, man. You're still gonna get tier 1, man. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, bro.
Yeah, it's different, man. Bobby,
dancing right now,
it's different because Bobby's our age, man. So Bobby, Bobby looks a little fresher. He's younger, but Pelinka for his age, he's still in good shape there. I think we'd all like to still look that good at 55, 60. However, I don't even know how Rob Pelinka is, but
yeah, I was saying this was kind of like MJ versus LeBron. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either one. You could debate this forever.
What are we doing this episode, man? Goodness.
Oh yeah, just waiting for the live audience to file in. So we're gonna do.
Yeah. It is a little early in the morning.
It is Friday, and we are going to be doing an NBA playoff 6-pack. As mentioned, we're here with Joseph Casciaro. Make sure you check out theScore's Unfiltered show. He did an interview recently with AJ Lawson. Did an interview recently with Teresa Resch of the Toronto Tempo. Had us on recently where, I predicted the Lakers and Clippers to be in the conference finals. Shouts to Scott Campsall. Yeah, what's up?
Your finals pick looking terrible right now. Lakers, Celtics.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Dude, that's gonna be. I didn't know Alex was picking the final at the Cancun courts, man. Alex picked what the tournament final is gonna be at the all-inclusive resort.
Yo.
you might be seeing Jason Tatum at your stag if you have a stag next week, man. So let's get to this 6-pack. First question for you guys. So the top 2 seeds in the East are both down 2-0 after losing at home. Who is in more trouble right now, the Cavs or the Celtics? I'll start with you, Cash.
Listen, I think you have to say the Cavs for a couple reasons. One, all due respect to the season they had, like 64 wins, deserving 1 seed, great season, great team. And I think, for the most part, we'd all be in agreement that they are the better team in that series. But having said all that, look, the Pacers were, I think, a top 4 team overall over the last 57 games of the season. Like, this isn't one of those, like, if you just take out 12 games. Like for 3/4 of the season, the Pacers were a top 4 overall team. We know that if Tyrese Halliburton is right, that team is really, really good. And there's proof of concept there. They made the run last year, the conference finals. I know the injuries, blah, 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 but still. There's proof of concept there. So, essentially what I'm trying to say is that for as great as I think the Cavs are, I'm much less convinced that they are better than the Pacers by enough of a margin for me to just say, it's fine. They'll come back from 2-0 down. They'll win 4 of 5 with the next 2 on the road. Like, I'm not as convinced about that as I am that the Celtics can or will. I would still pick the Celtics in that series. I think obviously their backs are against the wall. It doesn't look good right now. Their offensive process looks like a joke. They've blown 2 straight 20-point leads. So I can understand why people would still pick New York in that series. But I would still lean Boston. That's how much faith I have in the defending champs. Whereas I'm at the point where I would expect Indiana to just win twice in the next 5 games.
Yeah, what do you think, Will? Now that we've heard from the Italian Bill Simmons over there.
We have some incredible questions already, man.
I think Bill Simmons is actually half Italian or something.
He does say that all the time,
Yeah,
that he's like half Italian.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's not exactly Furio from Sopranos, but he's there's somewhere in there. I look, Boston has obviously underplayed based on what their talent level is, but when you watch the Celtics now, like, don't you get a big sense of? I don't think Kristaps is healthy at all. Like, that's huge because Al Horford by himself at this big age is not enough. I think Al Horford has certainly played his role really well for the Celtics, and he's like a hero. But, I don't think he's a hero in the sense that he can do it part-time. He can't do it full-time. I feel like this is like a really scary moment for them. Beyond that, I feel like, between Tatum and Brown, neither of them look that confident right now. I mean, we've seen... All you got to do is protect that 20-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And these two guys, neither of them can consistently create a good shot. I think their judgment just doesn't look that particularly great. I think the Knicks defense, too, between Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, they've both done incredible. But even with the Celtics, like, their game plan a lot is to, like, okay, let's, like, try to attack Brunson on the switch. Let's try to attack Count on the switch. It's so predictable that, like, the Knicks are able to, like, load up behind them. And now that they're going to the Garden as well, man, they're going from one Garden to the other. The real Garden, man.
It's gonna be raucous in that place. Like,
it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
I think lowest price ticket was like $800 as of yesterday to get into the Garden. So
that's nothing, man.
Yeah. What?
I get the argument.
In New York?
I would understand the argument too. Like, I understand that, the Cavs argument is, hey, we've got reinforcements coming. Like,
Sure.
We lost the first 2 games at home, but that wasn't our team losing. Like, that wasn't our best playoff team losing those games. Whereas on the Celtics side, you'd be like, they're, pretty much full strength. They might not look like it, but they are at full strength, and they're still losing those games. So I can understand that, kind of anti-Celtics, pro-Cavs narrative.
Yeah, can we give the Knicks some props? Because I do feel like, even though they're down 2-0, people are still thinking this is going to be a series, and that's full credit to the Celtics. And I agree with that too. But, like, what have you guys seen through 2 games from the Knicks that's impressed you?
I mean, Will was kind of touching on it there with the defense, where it's like, the Celtics think they have these targets that they can go after and they can hunt on switches and whatever. But, for the most part, like, even a Brunson, I'm not saying Brunson's been necessarily, like, great defensively in this series, but I feel like he's held his own when needed. And the way the Knicks have loaded up behind those guys, again, it's kind of hard for me to say, but I would say that the Knicks defense has been the most impressive to me. Bridges, like as an individual defender,
Yeah, he's been great.
has looked like the guy that they gave up 5 picks for. Obviously, like looks like the guy who, obviously you want a guy, if you're giving up 5 picks, you want a two-way player. But defensively, he looks much more like the young guy that was, in the finals with Phoenix and looked like he was going to be this elite defender, wing stopper going forward. He didn't really look like that in the regular season in New York. His defense had fallen off a cliff. Now it looks all the way back. That's been the most impressive thing, but it's also hard for me to commit to that take when I do feel like so much of this is just really undisciplined offense by the Celtics. And I don't even just mean like they're shooting too many threes. It's the way they're going about it. Like it's not like it's good process leading to great threes and they're just missing them, but you got to take them. It's a lot of like rush stuff. It's a lot of, not that I'm saying they should be milking the clock up 20, but it's a lot of like not taking any time off the clock to get to a bad shot. It's really undisciplined stuff. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Knicks. They're up 2-0 on the defending champs. They deserve credit, but I just don't know how much of what the Celtics are doing offensively is really credit to the Knicks.
Yeah, the Celtics, they take way too long to get those mismatches in. Like, they're always looking to get a switch and then maybe one screen, maybe a screen to screener, but they're ultimately just trying to get a one-on-one matchup with either Brown against Brunson or Tatum against Brunson or those guys versus Cat or maybe those guys versus Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, by the way, has been great in this series so far. To the point where the Celtics intentionally put themselves in the bonus trying to take him out the game with intentional fouling. Like, dude, what is going on with Boston? But it's almost reminding me of like the way the Clippers played offense. Like, the Clippers were always like, okay, we're trying to get Jamal Murray switched on to, like, James Harden, or we're trying to get Jamal Murray switched on to, like, Kawhi Leonard. And the longer they did that in the course of the series, like, the easier it was to load up the defense behind them. And that's where by the time you got to Game 7, like, James Harden was just holding the ball for shot clock violations, basically. Like, that's what Boston's offense feels like. So, I don't know, man.
Sounds
It's
like
tough.
any May night in the 2010s or 2020s, James Harden holding the ball too long in a playoff game and not doing anything with it.
Hey, listen, man. If Chris Dunn had hit 5 more threes, the Clippers would be on their way to the finals. So I don't want to hear about any of this Clippers talk right now. Boston weirdly, like if you take out their championship run from like last season, like they've done this before, right? Like they were down 3-2 against the Bucks in that year where Tatum, I think, had to go drop like 50.
That's what that's going to be needed, by the way,
Yeah.
in Game 3 or 4 in MSG.
And they were down 3-2 against the Sixers a couple of years ago, against the Harden Sixers. They went down 3-0 against Miami in the conference finals and got it to a Game 7. So, yeah, I'm not counting the Celtics out yet. I think they're going to have a huge game tomorrow, huge push tomorrow. And I think if they win tomorrow, right back in the series. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm really interested in this. I think the other question about the Celtics, Brian Windhorst was reporting earlier this week that because of the new ownership and the luxury tax that's coming, I think it's going to be like a $500 million team next year as currently constructed for the Celtics. And he expects that there's going to be some moves this offseason. Who do you guys think is going to get moved this offseason? Assuming even if the Celtics get bounced early, you would assume that those moves are going to take place.
Man, I don't even think like when they get bounced or if they get bounced plays much of a factor here. Maybe that sounds nuts, but I just think like, when you consider the ramifications of the second apron, when you consider like the more punitive tax penalties from a dollar perspective of the new CBA, and the fact that there were these whispers out there, even as the Celtics were marching to the championship last year, and even as they were defending champions this year, just about like, look, new ownership, how long are they really going to be able and willing to stomach the bill that comes with this team? I don't think those whispers are going away if they're all of a sudden back-to-back champs instead of just champions. I don't think it's going to go away if they make the conference finals or the finals instead of the second round. I think the issues that come with that tax bill and with the second apron and the roster constrictions are going to be top of mind for ownership in the front office regardless of the success they have this spring. So that's one. And then, I know that it's probably like more around the fringes, like with the, Holidays, Porzingis, like guys like that, but like I still think if you go back to last year and Jaylen Brown qualifying for the Supermax because of that All-NBA team a couple years ago or whenever it was, I still feel like, as crazy as it sounds, I'm not saying I would advocate for it. Obviously, you want to keep those guys together, but like if they're really looking to dodge the tax and apron-related stuff, you probably going to break up Tatum and Brown at some point. And again, it's nuts. I don't condone it. It's one of the reasons I had a problem with all the second apron stuff to begin with, because, I wrote about it at the time. I made a video about it. It was like, at what point does the NBA become a league of 30 teams with no identities? Because teams are just, contenders are rising, but then falling so fast because they need to like duck these penalties. And that might be what we're about to see with the Celtics.
Yeah, Will, I know you got a trade proposal lined up here.
Oh, let's hear it.
I got two crazy trade proposals. One of them, to that point, Jaylen Brown, a Jaylen Brown centered package for Giannis.
Ooh.
I like that. I like that.
I got like a weird feeling that Giannis is going to Boston.
My big question is
No.
if Jaylen Brown is on the table, what's another team that can come in and beat that offer? It's got to be Houston, I'm guessing, right?
It depends on what
OKC.
Milwaukee wants. Yeah, OKC
Yeah.
is like the ultimate trump card. But it depends on what Milwaukee wants. Like, who's the best potential young star available under contract for a long time? And say what you want about like the fact that he got signed to the Supermax, he's still a really good player. And if you're just talking about like who could OKC offer that's as good as Jaylen Brown, maybe if they put in Jalen Williams, maybe. But I don't think he has the resume of a Jaylen Brown just yet. He has the potential to be Jaylen Brown, but not the resume yet. And Houston doesn't have anyone as good as Jaylen Brown. So I don't know. The reason I'm saying this is because I feel like they're in need of a serious shakeup, but they don't really want to surrender championship contention. Like, obviously, they need to turn Kristaps into like multiple expirings, or even Drew Holiday's contract looks pretty bad. Like, he's making like 36, 37 million for the next 3 years. I don't know, man. He's like on that Kawhi Leonard level of like, just I'm gonna play when I want to type, and I'll just give it back to you in the playoffs. But yeah, I think that, and then obviously if that can't work out, I could even see like a Brown for KD. This is more of a weird, like, we're still contending, but we're also shedding a lot of long-term money in the process. But yeah, I think like a breaking up the two J's could really, really happen soon enough.
The one thing I'll add too is that as much as I think Milwaukee would obviously like Jaylen Brown, I do feel like if they're trading Giannis, they still want to be relevant. Like, but it's a big reset, and I almost feel like they would prefer, even if it's an inferior player, but a younger player early in his career, whether it's on his rookie scale contract, like you mentioned J-Dub, right, in OKC. Now, I don't know if OKC would actually trade him for Giannis, but if they did, and if those...
By the way, they should absolutely trade J-Dub for Giannis.
I'm just saying I'm not sure
Trade
if they would.
two J-Dubs for Giannis.
I'm just saying I'm not sure if they would, based on, the way OKC, like Sam Presti has operated in the past.
Yeah,
He's a little more conservative with his assets. But if Milwaukee actually had the choice, and I know the salaries aren't equal and whatever, but if you are looking at that, like if you're Milwaukee and you're looking at the future, do you want Jaylen Brown for $300 million, or however much money is going to be left on that deal? Or do you want Jalen Williams coming off his rookie scale? Yeah, he's going to get a max extension off it, but it's going to be much smaller. Like, I just feel like when you think about like roster building going forward, it's a lot easier with J-Dub than it is with JB.
Yeah, or Scotty Barnes, or like I've said, RJ Barrett would be their top young prospect if he went to Milwaukee.
This guy trying to build a Giannis trade around RJ Barrett.
That's what I saw Bleacher Report do.
I
I only get my info from credible sources. Yeah.
I'll say yes to any RJ Barrett center package, man.
Only way
I
that's
love RJ,
happening
come on.
is if we get Bucks general manager John Horst just gone off the Baiju at Hong Shing at like 3 a.m. That's the only way that deal's going through, boys.
Yeah, I'll ship Bobby Webster to Milwaukee if that's what it takes, man.
Yeah, Bobby, buddy. I'm sorry, man.
Wow.
All right,
Lake
so
Michigan.
it'll be an interesting offseason. All I'm saying for these new owners in Boston is just like, you're billionaires. Just pay up and keep the team, man.
But bro, this is gonna be the most expensive team ever. $500 million for a team that's
doesn't
not even
matter.
guaranteed to
One
win a
owner's
championship
got to
anymore.
step up and just be like, yo, I have a championship team. Like, I'm just going to run it back one more time. Like,
But you know where this is gonna go? This is gonna go towards eventually like one of the the Middle East owners, like one of the Saudi state-backed owners coming in and buying an NBA team and doing this.
Yeah.
Because the last time we had this was Mikhail Prokhorov with the Brooklyn Nets, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm bored, man." You know
Joe
what?
Sakic.
It turns out I spent $1 billion and I got Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Joe Johnson. That wasn't the same.
Yeah, I think for a owner to be willing to spend like these kinds of sums on taxes and stuff, you would need like a Steve Cohen type, like the guy who owns the Mets. Will, you mentioned like maybe like some of that Middle East money coming through, like what happened in soccer. Now, obviously in the NBA, they don't allow like the sovereign wealth funds to own teams, or at least they don't allow them to own teams outright or like be the majority owners. I'm pretty sure
there are some minority owners going on right now. Yeah,
but they can't be majority owners, and I think that's a big thing. Like, you know, if the NBA keeps that rule in place, I don't think you'll have many owners willing to pay that money. But even if they are, I think even if a guy like a Steve Cohen came along and was like, I don't care what the tax bill is, I'll pay it. There's still, you know, a lot of people overlook the actual roster constrictions that come with the second apron. Like when you start talking about your draft picks 7 years out being frozen, or, you know, not being able to add any players other than what vet minimum got, like not even be able to add buyout guys who made more than the mid-level, like, you know, what, only being able to trade 1-for-1, I believe. Like there's a lot more goes into it than just being willing to actually pay the money, right?
Right.
Yeah, the Celtics got screwed by Grant Williams, man, because he was part of that MVPA.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. The blame pie would go straight to Grant Williams if this team gets broken up. All right, second topic here. We saw the Wolves beat the Warriors last night in Game 2, even the series. Obviously, no Steph in that one. Steve Kerr played 14 guys last night. Again, make sure you Google Steve Kerr Yao Ming for Asian Heritage Month. So Steph's hamstring injury, he's going to be reevaluated in a week. I guess the earliest he could come back is Game 5, maybe, you know, Game 6, maybe more realistic. Is there a path to a Golden State upset in this series, Cash?
Yeah, look, I think there's always a path. One, you know, not to sound like a downer or an alarmist, and we saw it last night, even though Anthony Edwards ended up being okay, but you know, every team in the playoffs is always one bad break, one bad ankle roll away from being in the same spot the Warriors are in right now. Like if Ant's ankle had been as bad as it looked, we'd be sitting here right now talking about, you'd probably take the Warriors without Steph over the Wolves without Ant, right? And for the final 5 games of the series. So that's one. Two, look, this is still, maybe Will disagrees with that, but like two, this is still, you know, yes, they're older, but it's still Jimmy Butler. It's still Draymond Green. Supporting cast isn't great, but like Steve Kerr at the head of it all. I'm not saying they have enough to, they definitely don't have enough to contend without Steph. But if you're just asking me, like, do they have enough in what's now a best-of-5 series with them having home court advantage to beat a Wolf? Like, I'd be like, yeah, they have enough. I wouldn't pick them to do it. I would have, to be honest, I picked Minnesota in the series regardless, even with Steph in the lineup. So I'm going with the Wolves, but I don't think it's impossible. Like, I feel like, you know, all of us, you know, on the show, and I'm sure fans as well, like anyone who's like watched basketball, watched sports, you know, for their whole lives and remembers playoff moments over the years, like we should all know that you can just never get too far ahead of yourself in a series, let alone in an entire postseason. And like, that's why when you still have playoff Jimmy and Draymond and Steve Kerr, and we're just talking about a best of 5, like I'm not going to say it's over or that there's no path for them to just win 3 out of 5 games, especially if, say, in the 4th and 5th of those steps back.
All I would say is just don't judge the Warriors based on what they did last night. Because the Warriors, maybe for the first time I've ever remembered, tanked a playoff game. And
Kerr kind of admitted it after.
Yeah, well, he was admitting it at first because he's like, all right, I'm going to put all my entire bench is going to come in right after my whole start is coming in. Like, it's the first line coming in, or the second line coming in for the first line. And by the way, they don't exactly have, like, Max Domi and Patches coming off that bench, baby.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Come on, man.
Scott Lawton reference coming up soon.
Not exactly like William Nylander's coming in at second line and scoring
Will's got
bangers,
that
bro.
Carl Jan Kroc jersey. Jan Kroc jersey in the closet.
Ooh, young.
Yeah, he's full of Young Croc
Jan
right
Kroc,
now.
baby. Holmberg.
Which rapper is this? Young Croc.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, like it was kind of nuts yesterday that they were just using that time to experiment because they don't have enough time around Jimmy Butler to like center the offense around Jimmy and sort of see how that works. Also, I feel like Jimmy just, again, like you would think maybe without Steph, Jimmy would like shoot 20 times, you know what I mean? Like be the number 1 option. He's like, nope, I'm still going to do my Jimmy Butler stuff, which is like draw some fouls here or there, take an occasional shot. If I'm wide open for 3, I'll take it. But otherwise, you know, I'm mostly going to be just kind of like running the show, but not really looking to attack most of the time. So The issue is like I just don't know what else is on that roster, man. Like I trust Steve Kerr, like he's actually like an incredible playoff coach. For me, he's very innovative, but like who is a guy who would come off that bench and do more for you? I think Kuminga showed that in this series he could play more.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He was
He
looking
looked
tough
good last night. He looked good
I
last
don't
night,
know.
but I don't like him.
Was he like 8 of 8 from the field?
Yeah.
at one point?
Didn't pass the eye test. Though,
I saw some headline about like, you know, like that being a silver lining that Jonathan Kuminga found his confidence in that game. It's like, okay, but he's not going to find a game. Like he's not going to find his game. Confidence is one thing, but if you don't got it and you don't got it, like, sorry, Kuminga, you're not that guy, pal.
I mean, it's pretty clear that the Warriors just don't really. I just don't think Steve Kerr likes Kuminga, and like I don't think he sees him as a fit for his roster. But like, there just isn't a lot more there. You know what I mean? Even game 1 when they won, it was like smoke and mirrors, like Buddy Hield, like all this kind of stuff. So I don't know. Like the Warriors' path in this series is like, can they defensively hold the Minnesota Timberwolves to like 90 points a game?
Well, look, they do have an elite defense. Like they've been an elite defense for the most of the year. I don't know where they ended up, but for the last few months of the season, they were close to being the best defense in the league. I guess close. Or they were the second because no one was close to OKC. But, you know, again, I know we haven't seen it, but if you're just asking me like how it's possible, it's like playoff Jimmy emerges for a week. That's all they need, and the defense is elite. And I don't know, they hold Ant in check, and the Wolves, you know, don't have too many. Like, again, I know we're grasping at straws, but there's a recipe there. You just really got to squint to see it.
Yeah, if there's one team I trust to be unserious too, it's the Wolves, and I feel like they're the type of team that could blow a game in San Francisco, and then it's a 2-2 series. And then who knows? Steph comes back. Like I do see a path there, but man, watching the Warriors play last night, it's just tough to see them putting together like a complete game. And like Will said, like who are their 5 guys right now once Steph is out, right? Like they got players that I've never seen play before play. Like wasn't Kevin Knox out there?
Pat
It was
Spencer,
like Braxton Keys always out there. I'm like, what? The key to what? Now, the one thing I could see for them is, you know how like the best defender in the world is Draymond Green on 5 techs or 5 fouls or 1 tech?
because he can get away with anything.
He needs a gun to his head basically to like really, really motivate himself to like really like just focus on basketball.
Okay, Gilbert Arenas.
By the way, I did watch Shooting Guards yesterday. It was very sympathetic to Javaris Crittenton and who did, by the way, murder somebody by accident. But anyway, it was actually a good storytelling though. I do come away with actually more sympathy for his story. But
Thanks
in any
to
case,
Letterboxd.
2 out of 5 stars. Sorry, 2.5. But Draymond is like trying to put himself on that line because the fact that he's 2 flagrant points and 2 technicals away from
How does Draymond have 2 paths to a suspension? Man? It's amazing.
The funniest
Choose
thing
your
is,
own adventure.
I feel like the referees are intentionally trying to make sure they either call him for a flagrant or a tech. Like, wait, how is getting hit in the face not a flagrant? It's like, oh no, that's a tech now. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And also, when he gets to that point in a game, he can pretty much get away with anything. Like the refs will like let him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, obviously, if they have to eject him, they will. But they will really let him toe the line once he's on that first flagrant or tech.
You know, Adam Silver would never do it because, you know, he runs the National Boring Association. But, like, they should make the rest of the series, every Draymond 3 should be worth 5 points. And then we'd have a series. Imagine if Draymond drills a 3 on you to tie the game with a 5-pointer.
You know, this guy,
Anyways, that's my suggestion.
off the rails.
Do we not have Draymond's post-game comments on the rundown?
Oh yes, Draymond after the game said that he was tired of always being painted as the angry black man. Is basically what he told reporters. So, and there was a video of like a fan, throwing like a racial slur towards Draymond while he was riding on his treadmill, by the tunnel and stuff. But yeah, that was Draymond's comment after the game.
Yeah, okay. One, obviously, there's no like any fan who's making it at all personal like that or getting into like slurs of any kind. Should never be allowed to watch. Forget never being allowed in an arena again. There should be some sort of law where like they're literally never allowed to watch a basketball game again. Like even at home, someone comes and they're like, no, you've lost this privilege. and obviously like sympathetic to any, like race related matters. Not going to pretend that I like understand what it would even be like to have that reputation. But having said all that, come on, man. Like, I think we can all agree that this particular thing, I'm not talking about what was said to him by a fan. I'm talking about his reputation on the court. We can all agree this has nothing to do with race.
No,
like,
this is
dude,
gaslighting 3000.
100%. Listen, Draymond, and people who have followed my work over the years know, like, I love Draymond as a basketball player, as a basketball savant. Like, the guy is a basketball genius. One of the greatest defensive players ever, definitely of his generation. Like, impact on winning, undeniable. I give him all the flowers. But when we talk about, like, his actions, we can also, call it what it is. He has been a dirty player in the past. He's a guy that plays on a certain edge and often does cross it. He has often struggled to keep his emotions in check.
He punched his own teammate off the team.
He punched his own teammate in the face in a practice and like led to the fracture of that team. Like, got himself suspended in the finals. Like, you can go down the list of all the evidence we have to suggest that Draymond Green has at times been unstable on the court and, has been unable to toe the line between what's acceptable and what's going over the line. And that has nothing to do with race. That's a complete that's a Draymond problem. That's not anyone else's problem. It's not anyone about perception or that is a Draymond problem. And any reputation associated with that is of his own doing. And the fact that he still can't accept that, to me, is like a little concerning. It's like, dude, have you not learned anything over the last few years?
Yeah, because it wasn't last season that Adam Silver suspended him.
And didn't he have to go to like anger?
Dude, he had to do therapy with the league.
Yeah, he had to go to therapy, and
With
he was
the
suspended indefinitely.
Because he put Gobert in a headlock. He hit
Nurkic.
Like,
There was an incident with Nurkic as well, and yeah, it's just disappointing to hear. Like it I would rather him own the behavior on the court, because like we have the evidence now that like he flails his limbs in ways that have never been flailed before, and he's constantly looking to step over the line, and for him to try to turn
over the line, by the way.
Yeah, for him to try to turn the narrative like that. Like that's not working for me.
Yeah, by the way, I only just want to shout it out because I saw it pop up in the comments. Tala Umar's, but I guess because when I was talking about the Draymond stuff, but Cash understands anti-Italian discrimination. Yo, shout out Tala, and clearly a Sopranos fan too.
You were also called the I don't want you to get rattled, but you were called the Italian Ryan Russillo earlier in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
That is so problematic. I'm now gonna have to.
That actually is anti-Italian discrimination.
That is anti-Italian discrimination. You're gonna compare me to some problematic fugazi like that?
Oh man! All right, we got
Who said
15.
that?
We got 15 minutes of cash left before he has to make a trip uptown.
Let's
so
go.
let's try to squeeze in a couple topics here. So one of the topics that's come up a lot this postseason is the concept of playoff risers and playoff droppers. Now, this is nothing new. This is basically, I think, just 82-game players and 16-game players, but dressed up differently. But I do want to hear from you guys who your top playoff riser and playoff dropper has been this postseason. Cash, let's start with you.
Okay, if you went by just like who surprised me a couple times, I think a lot of people would say Buddy Hield, right? He had those 2 big games and like whatever. But if we're being honest, it was just, the shots were going down. I don't think there was like too much fundamentally different about what he was doing. So I'm actually going to go with Julius Randle.
Oh no!
Man, listen, we're talking about we're talking
guy.
about for right now. We're talking about
yeah.
This question is just this year who's been the biggest playoff riser. Julius Randle coming into this year statistically was one of the worst playoff performers in NBA history and probably the worst high volume playoff performer in NBA history. Like, I don't know, people need to understand how bad he was historically in the playoffs for a guy who has the ball in his hands and shoots as much as he does. And I feel like what we've seen from him the first, I guess, how many games have they played in the playoffs now? 7, 6, I can't remember. Of this playoff run has been a continuation of what he showed me over the final few months of the regular season. I thought that Randle really kind of figured out his role between Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert on both sides of the ball as the season went on. I think that was a big part of like the Wolves themselves finding their two-way identity down the stretch of the season and really finding something and being as good as they were down the stretch. I think they were one of only 4 teams season long to finish top 10 on both ends. And I think Randle kind of finding what I would call a more team-friendly game was a big part of that. And to me, he's kind of continued that in the playoffs. Like, he's had a couple bad shooting nights and whatever, but for the most part, I think he's kind of like stuck to what the Wolves want him to do. He's been a nice balance between, like, yeah, he'll hit the occasional long range shot, but he's got, you know, he can punish teams inside. He's kind of a bruiser in there. His playmaking and his defense to me has been much more consistent this year. And again, that, like, the defense especially, that has continued in the playoffs. So if you're just asking me, like, who's changed my opinion of them as a playoff performer the most this year, it would be Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I like that. Will, who's your riser before we get to the playoff droppers?
This was my pick, too, because Julius is averaging 22 points on 49% shooting from the field, 34% from three, and then 89% from the foul line as well. Like, he played LeBron to an even, man. Like, that's incredible for him. And
he sent LeBron to the Mind the Game podcast.
He did, man, and no one even listened to that first episode, man. No one trying to hear Steve Nash rationalize why LeBron lost at 5. I thought he had an MCL injury, man. Why are you potting? Anyway, well, without that, then I'm going to go with my biggest playoff riser has been Andrew Nembhard.
Yes, sir. Friend of the program.
Andrew Nembhard. Look for that interview from 10 months ago now. But Andrew Nembhard's averaging 16 points per game in the playoffs right now, shooting 50% from the field, 50% from three, and 87% from the free throw line. I swear this guy has not missed. This guy, especially in crunch time, has gotten so many clutch steals and then clutch threes as well. Obviously, the whole Pacers team as a whole has been clutch, and especially when you look at guys like Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, even Pascal's made a whole bunch of clutch plays. Aaron Nesmith, we've already mentioned his ridiculous double sequence of killing Donovan Mitchell on that putback dunk and then taking the charge on Donovan Mitchell right afterwards. But Nembhard has been incredible. And I think the thing, too, is just like in the regular season, I think Nembhard's like a 32% three-point shooter. All of a sudden, he's a 50% three-point shooter. He's like, by the way, he's got the strongest shoulder in the league, it feels like. Because he'll shoulder bump like Giannis and then decelerate and score. And I'm like, how's that possible? But yeah, shouts to Nembhard, man. This guy is an all-time playoff performer right now.
Yeah, he's a gamer.
My playoff riser is Kevin Harlan. I feel like give me one Kevin Harlan moment you remember from the regular season versus from the playoffs. You know, like Kevin Harlan always steps up in the playoffs. I feel like he takes it to another notch here.
That sequence when the Lakers and Timberwolves couldn't stop hitting huge threes for that stretch. Yeah. And he's just like, good! They're like, that was amazing.
Yeah, great, Harlan. Great streak. Cash, who's your playoff dropper in this postseason?
A playoff dropper in this postseason. Oh, damn. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see that part of the question, boys.
No, it's all good. You can just say James Harden.
No, because my opinion of him in the playoffs was already terrible. Playoff dropper this year.
We'll go with Will first. Yeah,
I'll go first. You think about it a little more.
All right.
I'm taking Jaren Jackson Jr. I've already discussed this.
He was really bad in that series.
Discussed this many times in the show already.
Yo, Mans is already dead, man. Leave him alone.
No, it's not even just... There's something like especially disappointing about watching bigs who just don't play big. Jaren Jackson looked like... again, wow, more anti-Italian discrimination, but this guy looked like prime Andrea Bargnani in the playoffs. And there was no magic to Il Mago, man. No, the crazy stat is he averaged fewer defensive rebounds per game for the Grizzlies in the playoffs than Luke Kennard.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is bad. I just realized a very easy one because again we're talking about guys who reputations have taken hit this year. I'll give you one from the first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh. Oh my God! Wow,
dude, listen. Again, I'm not. As an all-time playoff performer, I'm not thinking less of him. But I think people went into the playoffs, given the way Kawhi finished the season, thinking like, oh man, okay, we're never going to get peak Kawhi back, but this is pretty damn close. And maybe he came back at our guy Wolfon made a great point before the playoffs started, where it was like, maybe Kawhi came back this year at the perfect time, where it was like, it was early enough that he's going to be ramped up by the time the playoffs start, but it was late enough in the season where like the fatigue hasn't set in yet, and it's like just this sweet spot, and that really is what it looked like to finish the regular season. Kawhi ran out of gas in that series, and the reason I'm saying it's like he's the dropper, the playoff faller dropper for me this year is because I think it was a very sobering reminder if we needed another one that like. No matter how good he can still look for stretches, for weeks at a time, whatever, that, man, the gas tank is just never going to be close to full. And, the Clippers, not winning that series is a disappointment. You might not think that because they didn't have home court. They were the lower seed. Not much was expected of them after losing Paul George or whatever. But if we're being honest about what the Clippers looked like to end that season, what the Nuggets looked like, Clippers with Kawhi in the lineup, the Clippers were the better team. And they lost it. They found a way to lose 2 games from the first 4 when they probably could have been up 3-1 or even swept that series. And then as the series went on, Kawhi clearly ran out of gas. And in that game 7, I think he finished with a decent, efficient 22 points or something, but he was a shell of himself in a winner-take-all game when he had only played 3 months. The fatigue excuse really couldn't have been there, and he still didn't have enough to even get close to dragging them to the finish line. So for those reasons, if we're talking about right now, he's the guy who, his reputation took the biggest hit. Not all time, but right now.
Yeah, he's not the guy that can carry you across the finish line anymore on his own.
Yeah, which is sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Kawhi's like a car you can't drive on the highway no more, man.
It's just every car I've ever owned.
Kawhi's an 06 Honda Civic, man.
You got any all-time playoff risers, droppers, shoutouts?
Along this subject, let me save Kawhi Leonard's playoff reputation. Because my all-time playoff riser and dropper are related to each other because they were traded for each other. All-time playoff riser is Kawhi Leonard, and all-time playoff dropper is DeMar DeRozan. And these are 2 Raptors legends. I'm not trying to be, facetious with this. I'm just saying I saw what I saw with my real eyes. Kawhi Leonard, his career playoff true shooting percentage is 62.1. His career playoff record in terms of just wins and losses, 90 and 56. So he's won almost twice as many games as he has lost in the playoffs. He obviously has the 2 titles and the 2 finals MVPs, including 2019, which we saw. Playoff dropper, unfortunately, is DeMar DeRozan. And I hate saying this because we've heard DeMar say this on multiple occasions that he felt like they would have won the championship with him instead of Kawhi anyway. I'm sorry, but I was there and I saw all the playoff games that DeMar played for Toronto. First off, DeMar has a 25-38 record in the playoffs, which is hard to do considering the fact that he's good enough always to bring the team to the playoffs, but then in the playoffs, the team is losing so much more than they actually are winning. DeMar's true shooting percentage in the playoffs is 50.2%. That's true shooting, not field goal percentage, not effective. That's true shooting is 50.2. For comparison, that's lower than Russell Westbrook's playoff true shooting percentage at 50.8. So that's my all-time riser and dropper in the playoffs.
I love that.
All time? Listen, I think all-time playoff riser because of the reputation he carved out for himself in the postseason compared to what he was in the regular season. It's got to be Big Shot Bob, Robert Horry.
Oh, that was going to be my pick. Yeah,
this is a guy that, listen, Robert Horry was a fine player. Don't get me wrong. He was a glue guy for a lot of great teams, championship teams. But seriously, if you there are people. I'm not one of them. Even though I love Robert Horry, but there are people that genuinely have made arguments for this guy to be in the Hall of Fame because of how many big shots, memorable shots, indelible shots he hit for championship teams and how, in a lot of ways he changed the course of basketball history in so many ways. The fact that he's even got people advocating him for that, when you look at his career and the kind of solid just role player he was, to me makes him the ultimate playoff riser. And then, Will, you were talking about efficiency there. Robert Horry is a guy that his efficiency went up in the playoffs, overall from 3, whatever. We all remember the big shots. So from a reputation perspective, I think Robert Horry is the ultimate riser. And the ultimate follow for me, and this to me should be the unanimous pick across basketball, it's Joel Embiid, man. Dude, this guy, okay, 28 point per game score in the regular season, down to 25 in the playoffs. Doesn't seem that bad. Effective field goal percentage down a few percent, whatever. Regular season assist percentage to turnover percentage is about 21-13. In the playoffs, it's about 15-15. It's even, okay? And then this is where, to me, and I've been going off about this for years now, the measuring stick and the proof that Joel Embiid is the greatest playoff dropper in NBA history. In elimination, in 11 games in his career where Joel Embiid's team is facing elimination, 23.3 points per game on 40% shooting from the field, 26% shooting from deep, 43% effective field goal percentage. And here's the kicker. In 11 career games when facing elimination, I can't believe this is even real. 30 assists, 55 turnovers. Okay? there have been plenty of playoff scapegoats and ducks over the years, but show me a player whose drop-off from the regular season to the playoffs is that stark and whose reputation when his team's back is against the wall is that consistently putrid. And yeah, you can say the injuries every year, he's always got bad luck, but I'm sorry, at some point, even if it's out of his control and it's not his fault, your body not holding up this time of year is part of why one of the best players of his generation is also one of the most unreliable stars in the playoffs. And when you consider the fact that he's literally MVP tier in the regular season and that unreliable in the postseason and especially in elimination games, how can it be anyone but Joel Embiid?
Damn.
Yo, the Sixers literally had the big three of playoff droppers. They had Doc Rivers, James Harden, and Joel Embiid. All Hall of Fame playoff droppers.
Come on, man. If you're going to criticize Doc for blowing the 3-1 lead, you got to at least give him credit for getting the 3 wins. You've seen that, right? When Doc always says that. It's like no one ever gives me credit for getting the 3 wins. It's like, yeah, dude, it's a best of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, you know what I'm
Oh, my God. All right. We're just going to keep cash for one more topic here, and then you've got to run. So we're going to swerve quickly here. So, it's been going around the internet, this whole debate about 100 men versus 1 gorilla. So wanted to know, how would you guys handicap this matchup? And then want to hear 5 people you would want to bring to this battle.
Are we just nominating 5 people we want
Okay,
to see die?
so I was going to say, I might have misunderstood the assignment. I thought we were going from, like, the NBA world. Were we just supposed to go with 5?
Yeah, no, like, it was wide open, but, like,
okay.
you can stick with whoever,
Okay.
in terms, but, like, do you think 100 men in any scenario would have a chance against 1 gorilla?
I do, yeah. So, going on a deep dive into this,
my God.
read a lot of experts and, gorilla experts say that
This guy did
actually
RFK Jr. level research.
They have the strength of like 30 men or something like that. And look, I think the humans would there'd be a lot of fatality. They'd take a lot of casualties, and even the guys that survived or the people that survived would be in real bad shape. But I do think 100 is enough. Like, I think there would be enough people that, people would have to be willing to die, which is insane for this. But if enough strong people overwhelmed this gorilla and, got like 10 guys on one arm, 10 guys on the other arm, 10 guys on the leg. Like, there's going to be some people whose heads are literally ripped off and their limbs are ripped apart. But after a few minutes, I was, reading about that gorillas actually don't have the stamina we think they do. Like, 100 would overwhelm them slowly but surely. But it'd be, it'd be catastrophic, the losses we take.
Yeah. So who are the 5? Because I guess you were basing this on the NBA.
Yeah, my bad. So again,
no, it's all good. It's all good.
fine.
Who are the
Pick
5 you're
5.
bringing to the battle here?
All right, Steven Adams,
Absolutely.
Nice.
First overall pick.
James Johnson.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sure.
Nikola Jokic, because I think even though people don't see him as like this
Oh my
menacing guy, that man's got strength.
Yeah.
Like,
You gotta-
Is he gonna run him from behind like Markieff Morris? He's
gotta-
honestly,
the
you
gorilla.
might have to.
He got to bring the brothers too, man.
Yo, honestly, I
Yo.
might take those guys.
He got to bring the
Yo,
brothers too. You got to
that's
bring
it.
the brothers. Yeah.
The brothers, honestly, you just completed it for me. I was gonna throw Jamal McGlure in there just because that man.
No.
Big Cat, my Scarborough guy. But no, you know what?
Big cat
Actually,
versus big gorilla? No way.
Alex completed it for me, man. So it's Steven Adams, James Johnson, Nikola Jokic, and his 2 brothers. But if I could go outside the NBA world, give me Khabib, whatever his name is, the famous UFC fighter who literally trained when he was a kid fighting bears in Russia or wherever the hell he was from. Kazakhstan, I don't know.
I like that. For my list, I started with Marco Materazzi.
Oh my God.
Because you need a guy who plays dirty. Like, you're
Yeah,
going up
he's-
against a gorilla.
Yeah, he's gonna get the gorilla.
like, you got to find some
suspended.
kind of. He's gonna put him in the chest.
The gorilla's gonna get a red card.
Yeah. I got fictional characters too. I got Tony Soprano in there.
Nice.
No.
No, I feel like though if you're gonna
Tony
go Sopranos,
Soprano.
you'd have to get Furio in there
Yeah, I was
because he's
gonna
the one
say.
that'll get his hands dirty.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. That's a real Italian. Right
Furio
there.
will tie his fucking
Yeah.
ponytail up. And,
Maybe Mikey Palmisi from season 1.
Come on.
And I'm kind of cheating here, but like Steve Ballmer, but to fly out the 100 Clippers fans who went to the Game 7.
yeah. Honestly, what would happen to those 100 Clippers fans in a fight against the gorilla might not be as visually disturbing as what they had to witness in Game 7 against the Nuggets.
Yeah, after that loss, I'll be like, man, if Chris Dunn just got 5 more shots on that gorilla, they would have won.
Yeah, you know what? Bring Chris Dunn too, actually.
I got Jeff Van Gundy. Someone's got to hang on to one of the gorilla's legs.
This is great.
And then Joe Cash, man, because if I'm going to war, I'm bringing the captain, baby.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen Cash lose a fight, so
That's what I'm saying, man. Well, he might be 46-1 after this one.
No, we're letting Cash be the 100th guy to go, man. He's the last guy. He's just gonna pull up and just.
And then I just get the glory.
Oh man, Will, who's your 5?
So here's the thing: is it like one at a time versus a gorilla, like, or is it like
no? It's just five people you would love to be part of this, like 100. that you would.
Yo, it's like, Will, give me 5 people you would want to die with. Essentially.
Okay.
Who's your 5?
All right, let's put in the Great Khali. Seen his face recently. Okay, looks like he was already attacked by this gorilla.
Oh my god!
Yo, I'm just telling you, the head that there's like a crater on the head already. So he's good, man. He's gonna come out looking the exact same. All right, give me Mark Henry.
Okay.
Okay. Sexual chocolate.
Yo, these are just off the dome. These
That's
are
the strongest man on the planet right there.
That is the strongest man on the planet.
Yeah.
Give me Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Okay.
You know,
hopefully the gorilla speaks Chinese. They can maybe negotiate a hostage situation. Oh my god, we need a coach too. Who would be a good coach?
Pat Riley, baby.
Oh my god,
Pat
Riley calling all his players washed.
He's not blood in the garden; it's blood in the jungle, man.
Oh my god.
I don't even know who my 5th guy would be, man. Let's consider. I don't even know, like.
Yeah, just send Bill Simmons out there, man.
Yeah, you know what? Bill
Simmons
should be
pod
there.
after.
So, yeah, I was gonna say someone should be there to like actually describe the experience when it's all over.
All right, I think we built a pretty good team so far.
Yeah.
We gotta let Cash go, and then we'll continue our 6-pack here. So, Cash, appreciate you. Everybody, make sure you check out Cash's work on the Scores YouTube page, the Unfiltered Show, and everything else. Anything else, Cash?
Yeah, just make sure you've got the Score app downloaded. Read all my playoff coverage and Joe Wolfon's, which I'm sure people are doing already. Yeah, hit the YouTube page. That's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys having me on. Always fun times.
Yeah, love you, bro. Enjoy the stag tonight.
Thanks, man. Enjoy Hong Shing. Get John Horse there. All right.
Ciao, bello. Nice. See ya.
Ciao. Not even there.
All right, drop Cash off the damn screen.
Another playoff dropper.
Yeah. All right. Quick transition here.
By the way, would those 15 guys be enough? Like, I feel like.
No, I mean, I did think that like Mio and Jerome could come up with 100, but I wasn't sure how good that content
100
would be.
entire people.
Yeah, just like a list of 100 people. Yeah.
There was for one point, like there was like a situation where I think maybe like 5-6 years ago they had this graphic of like pick 2, the rest are coming for you.
Oh, right.
I think that's worth doing at some point, content wise.
I would watch a full breakdown of like which 100 men would be the best and the formations. That's why I feel like you need a soccer coach for this gorilla attack. Like, because like you need to run formations on this stuff. Yeah. So is all I'm saying, man. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We throwing a 4-4-2 at these gorillas.
Yeah, 40-40-20 actually.
Oh man.
All right, let's see. Quick transition here. Whose career would you rather have, Will? Number 5 on the list. So, we famously brought up Tobias Harris or Chris Paul, and I got booed off stage on that one. I'm still preparing my case for that one. But I was thinking, Harden got knocked out again early in the playoffs, had to eat another poor elimination game performance. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook's on the rise here, contributor on the Nuggets, great first round, getting MVP chants from the OKC crowd. Neither of them have won a championship. They've been criticized for different things. Whose career would you rather have, James Harden or Russell Westbrook?
Hold on, Alex. I need to pop offline for like 30 seconds.
Hi
so we're
there.
gonna tap in Jerome, who's gonna answer who he would rather have.
Where
between
are you
Russell
going though?
Westbrook and Jerome.
What's the reason?
Just give me.
Hey man. Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
Who would
I'm surprised you
bring?
didn't choose the Hurt Syndicate to join
Oh
you.
yeah.
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 Just, they
Any
hurt
thoughts on
people.
the 100 men versus one gorilla?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a big fan of. I was just thinking in terms of WWE wrestlers. So there's Jacob Fatu, there's Bronson Reed.
The
People
recently
like that.
released Braun Strowman. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of Braun, but I guess he would be a good pick.
But do you think there's a scenario where the 100 men would have a chance
How are you guys all
against-
wrestling already? Man?
against one gorilla?
We're talking 100 men versus one gorilla.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Got you.
But is there a chance? Yeah.
Is there
I
a
mean,
scenario where the men could pull it off? Yeah.
I mean, Joe's breakdown kind of like convinced me that there's a shot at it. But I guess like because we're talking like no weapons or anything, so
I feel like one-on-one is just not great. I feel like
No,
humans
you-
are designed to attack in a pack.
yeah.
Or like have tactics. You got to outflank the thing. Like you,
Yeah,
you
like
can't
how
just be,
many-
you just pull up. You know
How
what I
many
mean?
men are you throwing at it as the first wave of attack? Like 5?
5 to 10, right?
Yeah. But those people are done. Like they're getting slaughtered.
Yeah, no,
But also,
you
how
have to
are you
sacrifice
actually hurting
few.
this thing?
That's the part I can't figure out.
Right,
Like,
because no weapons, right?
Oh, this is a great pick, man.
yeah,
That's
no,
a
I
great
just,
pick.
I
All this
just didn't-
hype and it's just a
Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
Lesnar comment.
it's just Brock Lesnar. Yeah, no, I mean, I just didn't choose Brock Lesnar.
No,
'cause he's,
Brock
like,
Lesnar, I feel like could really do some damage.
I think he could do some damage. He's
yeah,
just like
he's-
super.
He's in the Vince
problematic.
McMahon lawsuit.
He's
Yeah,
in
that's
the
where
Vince
he did
McMahon.
damage.
Yeah. But yes, though he would
Problematic
be,
or
Alright,
not problematic, man. I'm
I mean,
looking
I
for
guess
damage.
I'll sacrifice Brock Lesnar.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess this would just evolve into naming wrestlers and UFC fighters.
Wrestlers, UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Some people are.
I mean, like
trained
it's
to,
kind of funny that we're talking about,
essentially
like
do
you were
some of
saying,
this
like, oh, we should get a soccer coach, and I'm like, how about an army general? Like, what? Like, how about
What
someone
do
that
you
is?
want, man? Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
This
Why
guy's
does
like,
your
I
mind
want
go-
Napoleon.
I want Khan. Oh, anyways.
Anyway, so Harden versus Westbrook.
Yeah, quick transition. Which career would you rather have? James Harden or Russell Westbrook?
Guys, this is easy. I'm taking James Harden's career.
Yeah.
I did feel like James Harden at his peak was better than Russell Westbrook at his peak, first off, basketball career-wise. Harden's going to finish with more points. I think Harden might finish with more assists as well. More than anything else, Harden's going to finish with the entire nation of China as his fan base. And if we just study where the direction of the world might be going in the next, 20, 30 years, I feel like you definitely want China on your side. So for me, I'm definitely going to be James Harden. I don't care, man. It doesn't
know
matter
what?
how bad my reputation is in North America. I'm going home to China afterwards. It's great.
You know what? James did demonstrate his power by turning the entire Asia against Daryl Morey.
Yes,
that
yeah,
one
easily.
summer, and
Yeah.
it did show his power and his sway. So I like that. But Westbrook, he gets invited to Met galas. Like he has a pretty good life outside of basketball as well. And also
Harden
like
gets invited where little baby goes.
he'll forever. That doesn't sound great. He doesn't, and Harden, like, is Harden beloved in any city? I guess Houston would be the one, right?
I don't.
But
think
is
he
Harden
has, like-
beloved in any
of
city in the
course.
same way that like people will always love Russ in OKC?
No, but I feel like Harden does have the best reputation now. I feel like Harden is more generally beloved than
Right.
Westbrook. Because even though Westbrook has it like that in OKC, he kind of gets hated on almost everywhere else.
Yeah, but to still have
Yeah.
that one place that gives you that love
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is a case for Westbrook as well.
Yeah.
What do you
Joseph
mean?
in the
Again,
chat.
all of China loves James Harden. OKC
Sorry, the
has,
world. Sorry, though, my world doesn't revolve around China.
OKC has like 600,000 people at most.
We need Marshall Kung to cast the tie-breaking vote.
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Oh, we know where he's.
Wait, who do you take, Alex?
I'm gonna go with Westbrook.
You going with Westbrook's career? I take Harden.
Yeah, just Westbrook's life, career, and life. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Harden's life? Wait, me.
I didn't know you were such a Harden defender. Man.
No, but what's wrong with his life? Like, does he?
I don't know.
No,
Westbrook just seems like he lives a cooler life, man.
I feel like
driving
basketball
around in his car and singing Beyonce. Like, I could do that myself as a civilian.
You do that.
Yeah.
I was just ride on my scooter and sing Oasis, man. It's not the same.
Listen, we don't need to go that deep on it. This was a topic filler. Last one here.
What about Tobias Harris versus?
No, that's serious.
I'm still gathering evidence. Last one here. Daryl Morey spoke with the media this week and defended himself and said that this was the first losing season that he's ever had, and he's had more deep playoff runs than pretty much any executive, and he's never been in the lottery. He's pretty good at this winning thing. That was his answer to why people should trust him to be the person to turn this Sixers team around. He says that the team is committed to Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. Do you think Daryl Morey is still one of the top executives in the NBA?
I think Daryl Morey is a liar.
Ooh.
No, just in defense of James Harden. Go ahead.
We could recreate that scene at Hong Shing tonight with the bottle
Honestly,
service.
Yeah, we probably could. Yeah.
We absolutely could.
Yo, let's actually. Oh man.
Is Daryl Morey still a top executive? And is he the person to turn the Sixers around?
I mean, okay, if we're just talking about like getting talent on your team, I feel like he actually still does a great job of that. The Paul George thing completely backfired, and year one was an absolute disaster. And going forward, you don't feel necessarily confident about the situation, but the fact that they even maneuvered their way into getting a situation where they can open up max cap room to sign a max level player is still pretty innovative. They just unfortunately had to get Paul George, which was not the greatest thing. But of course, they manipulated Tyrese Maxey and his contract, and they made him delay signing the extension, so there's cap room, blah blah blah. Even Maxey, that's a guy I picked in the 20s that turned into an all-star. That's also pretty damn good onto itself. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Morey is he does also just make a lot of acquisitions. Like, he's never going to just keep his roster static. So, in that sense, I still see him as somebody who can be a very, very good executive and continues to sort of show ways to try to pivot and maneuver. The thing is, this team is starting to remind me of his Houston Rockets team. The one he inherited with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. It's like, all right, 2 stars, both banged up, ultimately get time to the playoffs to disappoint. And that's sort of been the story of his teams throughout the years. The best teams that he built was Chris Paul and James Harden team. But even that team doesn't, for me, what were they going to do? Play ISO for the way to the championship? That just doesn't feel great. You know what I mean?
They were one game away from beating those Warriors, man.
Yeah, but you know which team actually beat those Warriors team? Us, man. We did that. So I think I think for me, it's just if there's one critique of Daryl Morey, I just feel like his whole thing is just, let's just get any 3 big stars, put it together, and then I'll fill out the roster. He's pretty good at filling out the roster, but I just don't feel like he picks the right 3 stars most times.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad complaint, considering the fact that he has manufactured many stars, too.
I'm just saying, man. Daryl Morey, Sam Presti, the no rings Hall of Fame executives, man.
Oh, no stats
Right.
all-star?
No rings.
No rings executives?
Let's get some rings first, man. Yeah, who's your most interesting team this offseason as of right now?
Man, there's lots. There's a lot of teams. I mean, everyone's looking at Milwaukee because that team absolutely needs to pivot. They need to. I know. I think the report was that Mark Stein said the Bucks aren't going to trade Giannis if Giannis doesn't ask out. It's nah, man, take your life into your own hands. You have a terrible, terrible roster, and you are trapping an all-time great there. And yes, it might serve you in the short term, but in the long run, you need to replenish your roster. That team is probably the number one team that everyone's looking at. Boston's starting to get pretty interesting. I feel like there's lots of teams Memphis could be another team that sort of repivots and reshapes the roster, considering how poorly they did this season, especially against top-tier Western competition. So, yeah. I mean, and of course, you never know what Nico Harrison's going to do next.
Damn.
Yeah,
he fired his whole training staff this week.
Why is that news, by the way? I feel like when other teams fire the training staff, no one cares.
Because he fired the previous training staff with people close to Luka, and then he was bragging this whole season about how they have the best training staff in the NBA, and then 2 weeks later he fired them.
I mean, I guess the Raptors do actually with Alex McCackney.
I don't think Nico makes it to opening day next season. Yeah, that's the Wongstradamus. Wongstradamus is back. Yeah, so Nico fired this offseason.
Lakers Celtics finals.
Yeah. Patrick Dumont will sell the Mavs this offseason. They just have to. They have to.
Grand opening, grand closing is nuts, man.
They have
crazy.
to.
How do they recoup their money after doing all this?
Doesn't matter. They're billionaires, man.
I guess.
All right, that does it for the six-pack. I believe we have some.
Let's
do
do
we
a
have
little
some
bit
comments?
of Tangerine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone. It is time for the Tangerine fan inbox. Tangerine is the official bank of the Toronto Raptors, foundational partner of WNBA Canada and NBA Canada. And, of course, they're not just fans of basketball. They're fans of basketball. They're fans of fans who will try and finesse RJ for Giannis. If you're hearing this, there's no doubting your commitment. Fans like you are at the heart of what makes this game great. So while we defend anti-Italian discrimination over some primo pasta and sauce, Tangerine is turning the spotlight from the court to the stands and celebrating the way Raptor fans support their team, because this is how we fan. To learn more, visit tangerine.ca/basketball. Couple straight comments over here. Here's the first one. Just come in. Content crunch is so bad. Wongstradamus is coming back. Wongstradamus never goes anywhere.
Hey, we got the draft lottery next week. So
Yes, we do.
That's going to be great.
Man.
Can't wait to hear what Will has to say about that. I think we're getting some guests too. I believe we finally made contact with Serge Ibaka, so that's getting worked on. Yeah,
Oh my god.
Ooh, okay.
Oh man,
Serge
putting my
Ibaka.
whole reputation on the table here.
Yeah,
Yo.
when you sent us the text about it, I was like, I can't tell anyone. I can't choose this.
Yo, the introduction for him is gonna be crazy, man. We're gonna
Oh,
be
my
like
goodness.
Mr. Avec Class, Mr. 100%.
We got to
pure
sing a
from the
whole song
motherland.
over one of his beats, man. Yeah.
Mafuzi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, okay, maybe let's just stick with the regular intro.
Okay, a couple other comments. In the spirit of Draymond, tired of being painted as an angry black man, Alex was tired of being painted as an accountant Asian man.
Once again, Asian Heritage Month in the mud, man.
Again, I didn't do that after dropping a Ryu Chung Lee kick to somebody in the office. Is all I'm saying.
That's fair.
I might have messed up a few companies' books, but you know,
Wait, you did?
nah, man. I was a certified CPA, man, great auditor. Yeah.
Playoff dropper. All right. Speaking of Jonathan Kuminga, laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah, we dodged a bullet there on that trade.
Yeah, because Kuminga at one point was like what the headline piece in those hypothetical Pascal trades.
He was deemed untouchable for Pascal. By the way, when you look at who was deemed as untouchable for Pascal in the various trade packages that may have flown into the ether, they look wild. Like Keegan Murray, like.
Oh, we were thirsting for Keegan Murray at that point.
I think Keegan Murray had like one game where he dropped 11 threes, and they're like, nope, he's untouchable. And it's like,
Right.
You know, Pascal went 15 of 17 in the game one of the finals, right? Like, let's know that there's levels
Tough.
to what's going on.
People
here.
love a three ball.
Tough postseason for Kings fans, man. They got to watch Tyrese Halliburton do all this, and then got to watch Buddy Hield, aka Klay Thompson.
Yo, Klay Thompson
Rockets.
is so good.
So sick.
So yeah, tough for Kings fans right now.
Yeah, they got to watch Jimmer Fredette retire from the Shanghai Sharks.
No, man.
They
This
gotta
man was
watch.
playing 3-on-3. Couldn't even play 5-on-5.
Yo, you can't retire if you're willing to play 3-on-3, man. You just got to keep hooping.
You running threes now is crazy. Yo, shouts to Jimmer, man. I love Jimmer.
No, but seriously, like Kuminga was untouchable. Like, what was Atlanta? Atlanta wouldn't put in like Kobe Buffkin or something. It's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
What are we doing, guys? Here's the thing. Like, I feel like Pascal was undervalued regardless. You know, and I feel like Indiana did get him on a great deal. I know the prevailing narrative now is like, well, the Raptors have made subsequent trades, like getting Brandon Ingram, getting Ochai Agbaji, getting Jamal Shed, like getting Jacoby Walter. Like that all made it look good. And I think the Raptors have done a great job of maximizing their assets. The thing is, imagine if you got a bigger return in the first place, you could turn that bigger return into a bigger return now. Not to make this sound like a Quest trade ad, but like seriously, like you could. Anyway, regardless.
Yeah, Bobby.
that whole trade era of Pascal just does look hilarious in retrospect because some of these untouchables might not even be with their team going forward, like a Kuminga. So,
all right. A couple reactions to the dropping Ibaka news. Another 7-minute interview. Flame emoji.
yo,
Guys,
really,
we know we got 2 classic 7-minute interviews in the bag. You know, we got Norman Powell
Yeah.
in LA. We got Chris Boucher.
We have 2 Chris
Jack
Bouchers.
Asters.
We actually have 2 Chris Boucher
we actually
interviews.
do have 2 Chris's.
Yeah, so that's 14 minutes, but I
Yeah.
will guarantee right now this Serge Ibaka interview will be at least 30 minutes.
Yo, 7 minutes will just be all the AKAs, man.
Yeah. That's just the intro right there.
30 minutes with Serge Ibaka.
Oh my
Right.
god.
All right.
Ooh, man.
Let me text Jordy right now because I didn't tell him that.
Is this as real as Utah ramen?
I feel like we could get Utah now. Like if I just had to call him in Japan, he'd
yeah,
be like,
tables have turned. Do we want Utah?
Oh, wow.
Oh, Asian Heritage Month continues
Really
to be in the
taking.
mud.
Really taking.
wow.
No, of course we would.
playoff
I would
dropper.
I would love to talk to Utah. He's playing professionally in Japan now.
What team?
Different part of his the Yokohama Riders.
That's not a real team, man.
So yeah,
He's playing for the Chiba Jets, man. Come on, man.
It'd be okay. it'd be super cool to talk to Utah. So yeah,
Yo, I hope Utah's averaging like 30 points over there. Hold on.
he better be.
I think our playoff dropper right now is Asian Heritage Month.
Oh my God, the amount of hits we've taken is crazy.
Okay, let's see what he's averaging in Japan.
Although
right
we will
now.
all laugh when Zach Edey's at a CCY event this summer, though.
Arc.
Oh yeah, right.
What else do we have here? In the spirit of playoff droppers, actually, playoff dropper Tatum, the Kobe of Paul George's.
Oh yeah, I think Nick Wright
Oh.
gave him that nickname.
Man,
Yeah.
the Kobe of Paul George's.
Tatum's problem is that like guys like Bill Simmons just hyped him up too much. Like he's perfectly fine being just like a top 20 player.
Top
It's just
20?
Yeah, you wouldn't put Tatum in a top 20.
No, I
think
mean,
Tatum's
I put
gotta
him
be
higher
top
than
20.
20, man.
Okay,
like
but-
top
but-
10 at least.
Yeah, but it's just maybe a little outside top 10, I feel like. We're really doing the Bill thing right now.
Name 10 players better than Tatum right now. Go ahead.
Okay, Jokic,
Yep.
Giannis,
Yep.
SGA.
Yep.
And these guys are all fighting a gorilla, is what you're leaving?
Did I say Luca yet?
Nope.
Okay, Luca.
Mm.
Healthy Steph.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
5 more.
Who else are good players in the NBA?
Ant.
And
Yeah, Ant.
Take
That's
Ant over him.
6.
Yep. There you go.
Yep, Ant. Who else? Help me.
Okay. Would you take Donovan Mitchell over him?
Yeah, I would debate that. Yeah, I would take D Mitch. Yeah.
What about Halliburton?
Yeah, I would take Halliburton, but this is just to help my agenda. Yeah. Okay, so maybe okay,
over
Tatum's
Tatum?
maybe like 8th or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's the problem of overhyping him, of like wanting to put him in that next level. He's just never gonna be that guy. Like he's never
Yeah.
gonna be Giannis. He's never gonna be Luka, and I think it's okay. Like you have a 25 plus point per game score. He's led you to a championship. Like all of this stuff. Like you know, like we don't need to put outsized expectations on him.
I did pick the absolute worst time ever to unlaunch my Jason Tatum. maybe could surpass KD in career accolades when it's all said and done.
Oh my god.
man.
Oof.
He's so behind.
Wow. He's made 6 straight All-Star games, guys.
Oh my god.
my God.
This is Bill Simmons accolades talk, man.
He couldn't even catch up with him in Team USA.
Yo, that's the funniest part. The 37-year-old KD's like, yeah, I'm playing over you, man.
my
By the
God.
way, Steve Kerr might have saved America. I've got to say.
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
Kerr was like, nah, Tatum, you're.
Maybe China too. Look up Steve Kerr, China man.
How
Someone-
close are we to just playing it? Like, how close are we to that becoming like the White Lotus?
Yeah.
Someone said Will should also have his dad on for a React
That's
pod
right.
because Bill yesterday brought his dad on to recap the first 2 games.
Yeah, how did that go,
Of
Alex?
the
Can you give us a
Celtics.
recap of the recap?
Yeah, so Bill's dad is like even more of a homer.
I mean, that shouldn't be a
Bill.
surprise. Yeah.
I mean, that's heritage right there. That's Simmons' heritage.
Yeah, I didn't really take much away from it. They were just like, yeah, Celtics will be fine.
I don't really. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those are one of the least favorite pods.
Oh, the dad pods?
Well, no, just the Simmons family pods. Because like he'll bring his daughter on, and he'll be like, "All right, explain Taylor Swift to me in TikTok," and I'm like, "Man,
I don't mind those because I actually learn a lot from like Gen Z or Gen whatever they are now.
why don't you just talk to your nephews, man?"
Nah,
They're
really
too
talk.
young
Yeah.
for that part.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You're making them play heads up Mahjong yesterday.
No, I didn't make them. My sister made them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So come on, man. I would never make anyone gamble. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you'll never make your family content, but
Oh, speaking of which, the New York Knicks are 5.5 plus 5.5 underdogs
Wait,
in
what?
Game 3 on Betway
Are you malfunctioning
for
right now?
tomorrow's game.
We're in the middle of
and-
the segment.
And yeah, what do you think about this, Will? The Knicks being up 2-0 are still the underdogs, getting 5.5 points, 1.95 odd. What's your thoughts on tomorrow's matchup?
I feel like you got to be a bit of a brave man to keep backing the Celtics.
The
You gotta-
Sharps are liking the Celtics. They got them as favorites on the road tomorrow.
Yeah, because we got humbled quite a bit because I think the last time we did this on Wednesday, we were like, wow, the Nuggets getting 10 and a
Ain't
half
no way.
points in OKC. That's a lot of points. And then, bam, they lost by like 40. So,
Yeah, that spread was covered in 10 minutes.
oh, man, that spread at the end was like plus 39 and a half. Man. Look, Boston needs this. Boston needs this more than New York. So,
I think they both need it equally. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Equally?
I
There's
don't.
a team that's down 2-0.
I know,
man.
but the Celtics get it to 2-1, and suddenly the pressure's on the Knicks. The Knicks gotta drive that knife through the hearts tomorrow. They
Don't you
gotta
just
kill.
love game threes, Alex.
They gotta kill Lucky tomorrow, man.
Man.
Yeah. They gotta kill the leprechauns
You know what,
tomorrow.
Jason Tatum, man, your reputation's on the line. You know what I mean?
You think Boston is stepping up tomorrow? Statement game.
Well, Kristaps, for example, like what's going on with Kristaps? Like, no, seriously, what actually is happening with Kristaps?
He has a undisclosed, like they can't figure out what the illness is, but he's like zapping his energy. Yeah.
Okay, so Kristaps is basically a zero in this series.
He can't start. Yeah.
He can't start. He can't even play Mitchell Robinson off the bench right now, man. Like he can't
Yeah.
do nothing. They got to intentionally foul Mitchell Robinson. You know what? Nah, if the Celtics fold, they're gonna fold all the way. I'm back in the Knicks.
Okay, so Knicks, if you like the Knicks, they're also getting 5.5 points, 1.95 odd on Betway. Make sure you hit the QR code below to get all your basketball betting needs.
In the spirit of really good segues, we're just gonna spin right now.
Wait, what
Nice.
happened? What happened to the rest of the tangerine questions?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
We're more than good.
I got a surprise segment for you guys at the end.
It's not a surprise anymore.
I'm looking for a crying sound button.
Oh my gosh! All right, guys, give me
Let's hit
your
that spin.
picks. Where are we landing?
You know, it does kind of sound like a cry, actually. When you
Someone's got
got
to really turn off the loop when we do these.
I'm going to have the Raptors picking first.
Okay.
Wow, first overall. It's the first time first time you said that. I'm gonna go with fourth,
Okay.
which might be
It's
the funniest
optimistic.
place to jump to. Yeah.
And remind me, they can't follow to the 5th or 6th, right? All right. Anyway.
These jokes are dying as of Monday.
Enjoying
Oh, you got
all
4th.
the banter.
Let's go.
I'm enjoying all the
All right.
banter.
You gotta turn the loop. Number 4.
Number 4.
settled with
Also
4?
importantly, Philadelphia drops to 7 and losers their pick to.
Woo!
Yes. Philadelphia 76ers. Yo, that song bangs, man.
Sorry, I just didn't know what these were.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What's Will? Oh,
Oh God.
never seen someone beg for Will Lou like that.
What do you guys? Who would you guys take at 4?
We'll talk about it next week.
All right.
All right. What's your segment, buddy?
Okay, as mentioned earlier, this 100 men versus gorilla thing is actually not the first time that this subject has been broached, in the sense of like you got to pick like 2 animals to come at you, and the rest are coming for you. Like this is something that used to go viral, I think, back
Alex
in the
looks
day.
like he's crashing out.
We-
Holding his
hold
head.
on, guys. This is gonna hit. This is gonna hit. This is
Yeah.
this is gonna hit. Okay. So this is the premise. I'm going to present this to you. So this went viral back in like 2018, 2019 era. I did this
Right.
on a previous podcast that cannot be named anymore. So the premise is pick 2. The rest they will defend you. The rest is coming to kill you.
Okay.
The options, and there's 9 options.
Okay.
So there's 50 eagles
Okay.
as one option, 10 crocs,
Yeah.
3 grizzly bears, 7 water buffaloes or bisons or whatever that is, 1 man with a gun, looks like a rifle, 15 wolves, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas.
What are we gonna do, man?
We got 2 rats on this pod.
5 gorillas and 4 lions. Pick 2. The rest are coming to kill you. You guys go ahead, strategize, man.
Unlimited ammo in that gun? or
Yeah, I was
what?
gonna say unlimited ammo. What kind of gun are we talking here?
That looks like a
Just-
looks
we're
like a
gonna go by
standard
that
rifle.
rifle? Okay.
That looks like a standard rifle, yeah. And let's give him like a reasonable amount. Let's give him like, I don't know, like 3 boxes of 3 magazines full of
I don't even know what that means.
like
but
just
sure.
boxes, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, let's say a decent amount of ammo.
Yeah, like let's say at least like 200 shots, let's
Also,
say.
if
Okay,
they take the guy, we could take the gun, right?
I would
Yeah, that's a good call actually. Yes,
Yeah.
you can inherit the gun once the man
Right.
perishes.
okay,
Right.
so I would definitely lean towards getting the man and the gun.
Okay.
The man and the gun.
Because I feel like you could pick off some good ones there. Definitely not the rats.
No.
The rats gonna do.
Yo, but
man?
I feel like 10,000 rats, if you can coordinate them, could be very useful.
First of
How
all,
do
you
you-
can't
okay,
coordinate
explain-
rats.
Explain
Yeah.
how you coordinate rats.
They literally just put out cheese and they're all dead.
Yo, why is your number one thing the rats are eating cheese, man?
Because when I had a rat in my apartment in New York, I used to lay out traps, man.
Yo, you,
Y'all ain't gone through that life.
Wait, you actually put cheese on a mousetrap?
Yeah, y'all ain't lived through that life.
That kills me, man.
I don't
This guy
know.
living a Tom and Jerry ass lifestyle over there.
Itchy and scratchy show. Jerome, which other animal you think would be good for us?
Are we picking for us together? Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if we were picking for us together, and then like one of us had to pick each other as the one with the gun. I think I'm like leaning toward. I just really like the idea of an aerial assault.
Yes.
Yeah, the eagles.
Yeah, like and 50 eagles.
50 eagles is a
50
lot.
eagles.
50 is
Yeah.
a lot. 50 is a
Yeah.
lot. I agree.
And
Yeah.
that's 4 lions at the end, right?
That is 4 lions, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, as an owner of cats, like, man, they're not gonna,
They're not gonna do shit for you.
they're not that serious, man. I'll take my
Right.
chance with the 4 lions. I don't care.
Man.
I think like 50 eagles, and I'm between the gorilla and the wolves.
I think the wolves would take care of business, man. Because they're.
I think the
crazy.
wolves are a really good way to take care of our rats right away.
Well, 10,000 is a lot though. Like each of them will need to
Man,
take
I
down
will
like 700.
I will personally step on 2,000 of those, man.
There's no way.
I
Wait,
do not.
there-
I do
there's
not respect
actually no
rats.
way.
I
There's
do not
actually no
respect
way.
rats in any way, man.
Basketball related question, Alex. Would you buy James Harden for this battle to stomp rats?
Uno.
Uno.
I'd buy Crocs to stamp on Crocs.
Okay.
Yeah, this is tough, man. Can I pick 3? Like, is this
No,
like
no,
Manchu
no,
Walk
no.
where I can get a 3 combo?
You try to pay $5 extra for another
No,
side.
you're picking 2. The rest are coming at you, man. If you don't pick General Tao, it's coming to get you back.
You know what? Forget the guy with the gun, man. I'm gonna go with the lions and the wolves.
Yeah, I was gonna say the guy with
Lions
the
and
gun.
wolves? Okay.
Guy with the gun is just not that good, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
one
know.
guy. I feel like any of these guys can overwhelm one guy with the gun. Like even 7 water buffalo, which no one has even talked about, can probably take down the guy with the gun. It's just one guy, man.
I'm going lion. I'm going lions and wolves.
Oh, man.
Lions and wolves. Okay.
So
I'm gonna go wolf. Yeah. You know what? Give me then. Just to go completely different. Gorilla and eagle.
Yeah, the eagles are nice too, man.
Yeah.
Eagles are really tough because I feel like you get the 50 eagles, they pick out the eyes of all the other animals,
That's what I'm hoping.
and
on.
then
I'm
you're
hoping to
kind of
take-
good.
Yeah, just disabling them that way.
I
The
might
Crocs are like useless, man.
take I'm not gonna lie, I'm not taking Crocs that seriously, man.
No.
You have to lead everyone into the Crocs.
Like if I like climb a tree,
Come
I'm,
here, rats.
Yeah.
Yo, by the way, I'm taking the Rats. I don't care, man.
What's the best one-on-one battle in this? Like if we were just watching on it here.
10,000 rats versus one man.
But he's got a gun out.
But here's the key for the one man. He can only use the gun. I think that would be funny.
Yo.
Like, he can only shoot. He's not allowed to stop. He's not allowed to punch. He can only use his gun.
10,000 rats is insane.
No, 10,000 Rats is just too many. If they said even 1,000, it would make a big difference. But 10,000? Because I feel like I can just use 1,000 of them. If I can command them, like I'm like a general, like a mind control, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I feel like even 1,000 could take down like a lion.
Oh, man.
Because dude, we're talking about like big New York, like we're talking about New York subway rats. Like I feel like they
Oh,
could
the
take
mutant
down.
rats? Oh,
Yeah,
my
give me
God.
those New York City 10,000 New York City rats.
No, they're saying 1,000 rats versus one man was Alex living in New York. Yo, you will not believe the fear that was in me the first time I heard a noise in the kitchen. And then I look, and the fucking rat was like under the stove. Like, it was crazy, dog.
Yo, what was it doing? Eating cheese? I know there was no cheese in your Asian household.
Yo, I trapped one, and I had to like put it into a garbage bag and bring it downstairs. It was tough, man.
Wait, how did you trap it?
Like, I put traps around the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you
It's
just
a
let it.
apartment. Yeah.
So if you run into a rat and like you're just like 1-on-1 against a rat, like what's your game plan? Like you just
The rat's way too quick. It'll just run into a hole like a fucking rat. Like the rat that it
By the way,
is.
how are there so many holes for these rats to just run around in?
Yo, New York apartments are different, man.
man?
I
Anyway,
never believed this whole rats in New York apartments thing until it happened to me.
This is starting to explain the showers.
The showers came before.
Oh god.
Unclean.
Ugh. Just
Okay,
picture me knowing I'm sleeping in a place with rats, man.
You know what?
There's
I feel
no
like
sleeping.
That's why I feel like you
There.
got to pick 10,000 rats just so that they're on your side. By the way, for the record, I'm taking 50 hawks and 10,000 rats. Sheer numbers over everything else.
Okay. Well,
So
here's
volume play. Yeah.
the
I'm a
part
volume
trying
player,
to
yeah.
understand Will here is like you keep on talking about it like you're going to be able to coordinate with them.
Oh, of course. What are you
Okay.
talking about? If these guys just have their minds of their own, they're not fighting each other. Like
Fair enough.
they're just gonna exist. Like you know what I mean? Like they're
Okay,
not
so
gonna
the
try-
assumption here is like we somehow have like some sort of like
Yeah.
control or like we're actually okay. Oh, that
Right.
does change a little bit.
And if I have 10,000 rats and I have full control over them, like can I get them to like glue each other to themselves and make like a giant wall?
Actually, I
What
think
is
that
this,
works
man?
against you.
Nuit Blanche?
Like
No, I don't think you want to. I think they're better separated. I don't think you want them as
my
one.
no, but I
giant-
have 10,000 of these. I can't just commit.
Yeah, but
1,000
10,000,
to,
like
building a
5
great
gorillas
wall.
are just gonna run through 10,000 glued together rats.
Yeah, I wouldn't be Chinese if I didn't build a wall during a war, man.
Oh my god.
Asian Heritage Month. Still
Asian
taking on them.
Heritage Month is in the dumps, man.
No, the funniest thing about this thing is still the one man with the gun. I'm like, what is he gonna do?
He's done for.
He's cooked, man.
Not buck hunter out here.
yeah. By the way, Chris Mendes says
Oh, I
we
posted
used to
that
be a
earlier.
Raptors pod.
Oh, I already. This is the second time it's arrived. It's been posted on the show already.
Anyways, go Leafs, go tonight.
Yeah.
Lots of great basketball games this weekend. We're going to be covering the draft lottery on Monday evening. Mm-hmm. We'll be going live at some point
in the nighttime, yeah.
from a location to be revealed. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have more draft lottery coverage and playoff coverage the rest of the week. And Serge Ibaka at some point.
Wow.
Calling a shot. It's crazy.
I mean, you know, I do feel bad for Serge because we were kind of rooting against Real Madrid in EuroLeague in playoffs. They got knocked out by Olympiacos.
Are we willing to show him our transcripts that are like Real Madrid lost? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I hate
That'll be
rooting
a
against
7-minute
Serge.
interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It'll be. Hopefully, it's more than 7. But you know, it'll be good to hear from Serge at any point, no matter what. Otherwise, we'll see what the Raptors do and where they land. The fate of the universe. By the way, since this is the last time we're talking before the draft, who are the Raptors actually sending to be the representative?
We still don't know, right?
Yeah, who would you send?
They'll probably.
Jamal Shed.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jamal Shed actually.
Really? Again? Because he also spoke at the year end. So, like, is he now Jamal
Well,
Shed's now?
I
like,
mean, the very fact
walking
that he
face of the
spoke at
org?
the year end makes it seem like he's a good pick to do this. Like it's almost like implying one or the other.
Yeah. Yo, so you know how Paul Pierce walked, I guess, 8 hours yesterday
Yeah.
to work because he guaranteed he would do it if the Celtics lost game 2. So he had to walk 8 hours in LA. So Ace E here says, in honor of Paul Pierce, will Alex walk to work in a bathrobe if the Raps get the number 1 pick?
That
know
implies
what?
there's work to walk to.
You know what? If the Raps get the number 1 pick, I will walk to my place, from my place to my parents' place in Richmond Hill.
No.
Wow.
Put that on record.
Wait,
Look that up right now. I'm looking that up right now.
Hold on. You're going to walk
okay, here.
from downtown Toronto, like we're talking south of King, all the way up to Richmond Hill if
Yeah.
the Raptors win the number 1 pick. Can you live stream during? Can we
Yeah,
call you during? Like,
Yeah.
Let us know. I was about to like share screen,
Oh
but
my
I realized I would
God.
then dox where your
Yeah,
parents
yeah, yeah.
live.
yeah, that's
How
fine,
far?
whatever.
How
6
far?
hours. It's a 6-hour walk. Yeah.
No, Alex.
It's a 6-hour.
I mean,
No,
you-
it's a 5-hour walk. Yeah. Somehow it dropped by an hour.
You are a generational walker, like, and you've
No,
done half marathons before.
If they get the number 1 pick, I will show proof, stream during the thing, and I will walk 6 hours.
What's that walking tracking app thing that you're
6 hour
doing?
stream. Will
Oh, yeah,
is
stompers.
salivating.
Yeah, look, I need to see the. I need. Oh,
Someone
Stompers
said
gonna be
modern
crazy.
day Terry. Please,
No.
please.
No,
Please, no.
that's Terry Rat right here, man.
Crowd fund during live stream to have a paramedic follow.
Yo, that's crazy.
Well,
Yo,
I
can-
think you could do the walk. That part I'm confident about, but
Can I come alongside you, but on a scooter? Like, I'll
No,
just,
you
like-
guys should drive by just like how KG drove.
Whoa, me and Jerome driving by no matter what, man.
oh, that's a guarantee. Well, that's why I was gonna offer you a much shorter walk because I'll just like document your walk. I don't want to do 6 hours with you.
All right,
that's
so
actually amazing. Okay,
so
that's a
if
promise. Okay,
if the Raptors get the first pick, the lottery's on Monday, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I will do the walk on.
Is this
either
how I'm gonna
Tuesday
find
or
out you
Wednesday.
purchased like a Supreme bathrobe at some point?
No, and also I'm not doing it in a bathrobe. Yeah.
I prefer. Actually, no. I prefer more the bathrobe part of it than like the 6 hour walk.
I
So
have like
whatever-
a Buffalo Bills bathrobe. Mark Sabell
Okay.
got me, so I can.
Okay.
I can.
people
do
want to
that.
do a banter pod as he's walking. Honestly, you
Oh, it's
might
only like
actually.
half a banter pod.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well,
Okay.
I guess I'll be rooting for the Raptors to not get the number 1 pick on
Alex
Monday.
will never walk. No. I cannot wait for this, man. I feel like first off, if man, yo, this would actually change our lives. You know that. Like, I mean, as Raptor fans, sure, but like for the success of our show, if the Raptors get
I mean-
Cooper,
I don't
Flag,
think the metrics are gonna really show
Yo,
that.
Lindsay Dunn's definitely gonna come to Richmond Hill to do a segment on
Yeah.
this.
she's like,
Man walks 8 hours.
man walks 8 hours because Raptors laying Cooper Flag will be amazing.
Oh.
I mean, the sick part is I'm just trying to think through the production aspect of it and how we pull this off.
No, it's fine. I think what you can do is you can call into the StreamYard that we're in. So he
Right.
can
No,
just
no,
log
no.
in through his phone and then use his phone.
I
He's, like,
understand
essentially
that part, but
FaceTiming.
I want the idea of like, can we rig him to like the thing so he could just keep on walking while he's being filmed?
Oh, like a gimbal.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
I'm gonna look crazy on the side of the 401.
That's right. That's right.
Yo, where do you think you'll realistically tap out? Let's be real, man.
No, come on. If it's a 6-hour walk, I can do that.
You can
I-
walk
that's-
6 hours?
That's 3 rewatchables and like 2 bill pods.
No, you can't be listening to pods, man. You got to raw dog this one.
No,
Yo,
no,
what
no, 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 no.
Oh,
Now
you
that's
think
just,
Paul Pierce was not?
now that's just torture, bro.
That's
Yeah.
torture.
No,
Wow.
I will
Oh no,
walk.
someone gave
Yeah.
us money. Why?
Let's go. Top Shot Tesla.
Yo,
First
man.
donation. Walking stream's going to be live. Watch out, Toronto Walkers YouTube. Walking YouTubers.
Honestly, I will do this walk sometime like for no reason.
No, what's
Now I'm
what's-
just
okay,
curious about doing it.
What's the path that you're going to take? Are you going to like walk up Young all the way? Like
How many
Probably,
kilometers is that?
probably up Young. Yeah,
the whole way, huh?
yeah, probably up Young.
Damn, bro. No, you're tapping out. I would say you're tapping out at Glencairn, man. Actually, no,
You
you
don't-
can walk past Glencairn. Hold on.
I
Oh,
can
that
make
yeah, easily.
I
St.
can make
Clair?
it 6 hours is easy, man.
By the time you get to Shepherd, you're gonna be crying, man.
There's random days where I go for 3-hour walks. That's half.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
a
but you're
while back.
strolling. Like this is like. Well,
But
I
I'm not-
guess you could pick whatever pace. You
yeah,
want.
yeah. Like I'm not under any like speed restrictions.
Do you guys remember Beer Market like in Esplanade? I don't know if it's still anymore.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
used to
yeah.
be there.
Oh, isn't that where Rob Ford?
Oh,
By the way, Rob Ford documentary coming out on Netflix. I will be there. I will be
Man.
seated, man.
Letterbox.
I got more than enough to eat at home. Is an all-time line. Sorry.
no, guys. I remember there were a few times where like out with friends after work at beer market end the night, but walking from the Esplanade to Yonge and Shepherd, like at the end of the night,
Yeah.
which is like a significant. Yeah. It's not as crazy as a walk as you would think, but it was pretty nuts.
Ooh, we got $15 now. I mean, both from Top Shot, but you know, Alex would rather walk 6 hours than work 2 hours. Is that true?
If
No,
you
I
told
wouldn't say
me I could walk 6 hours every day and not work, yeah, I would walk 6 hours every day.
What?
Yo, walking is like beautiful. Like
In fairness,
I will do this
anytime-
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, anytime I don't see you, Alex, I just assume you're walking.
Yeah, like
Bro, where are you even walking in Toronto? You're walking 3 hours. Like,
Just
where are
anywhere.
you going?
I can't reveal.
No, you can't ask him to share that.
Oh, like general
information.
area. Like, are you walking like Corktown to like Liberty Village? Like, what are you doing?
He's
Nah,
walking
not that.
downtown.
I'm close to water. Yeah.
You're just walking along the waterfront?
I can't reveal. Yeah.
How often do you run into Vladdy Guerrero?
How often do you run into Keeks taking photos of the lake? Man?
No, but yes. Raptors get first pick. I will walk 6 hours next week.
Wow.
So
God,
yeah.
that just like changes up my whole week.
I walked from Bellwoods to Long Branch once, and it was tough. What were you trying to do, man? Catch the Lakeshore West?
I don't know what neither of those things are. Yeah.
You know Bellwoods.
What's Long Branch? That's a tree. Yeah.
Yo, Long Branch is that tree that they're walking on in Lord of the
Really
Rings.
big tree. Yeah.
No, Long Branch is a ghost.
Long
station.
Branch is what Will's hiding on from 10,000 Rats.
Ooh, yo, I climb a tree. Only the bears can get me. I got to throw the rats at them. We're good.
You're throwing rats at people?
I can do whatever I want, man. I got 10,000 rats. I got infinite rats, man. You don't understand. Long Branch is like yeah, it's like the first stop on the Lakeshore West line in Toronto. It's like Lakeshore West, then Mimico, then Exhibition. I've taken this many times because I used to go to school in Hamilton, so I used to take that all the time. But it's pretty south, man. You got to take the 112 Islington south all the way down there, or 123
Izzy.
C, I believe. So yeah, that's some deep Etobicoke, man. You'd have to really know to know. You're basically like on the edge of Mississauga at that point. Yeah.
All right. 6 hour walk is on the line next week.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
All right. So you got Jamal Shed representing.
Just in case that happens, because we're doing the live show, Alex, can you bring that bathrobe to our location just in case we need to preview what you have to be wearing?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with handsome Bobby Webster. All right. One last clue. By the way, have you seen those Bobby Webster Holt Renfrew ads?
Yeah, you sent it to the raw group chats.
That's fine. I didn't realize I had a group chat with Alex and Drum on Instagram.
This guy only looked at the first two names in that chat.
Why are you replying?
We'll play that whole clip next week. On
We
the
have
show.
to.
I think
he
when we-
deserves it, man. He deserves that to be
Let's
played.
collect like any amount of like promotional material for both him and Rob Pelinka, and then just have like a promo.
Yeah,
off.
yeah, promo off.
Yeah.
Versus.
Yeah, a verse.
Wow,
oh my
man.
God.
Yo,
Hot exec
versus
versus?
battle from
Hot exec versus?
Yo,
Okay, that's gonna be we're
that's
doing
actually a
that.
great idea.
Yeah. Okay,
Thanks,
we could talk
thanks
about
everyone
this.
for
Yeah.
tuning in for the last 37 minutes. We haven't said one thing. Yeah.
Yo, as someone said, this used to be a Raptors pod, and that's kind of where we're at right now. But
Kind of
honestly-
weirdly, I think the toughest fill-in was Harden versus Westbrook.
that was tough, man. I legit logged off for 30 seconds when that happened.
Yeah, this guy was protesting. Man.
I'm like, man, Jerome, get in here. Jerome.
He just left.
You
The chat.
You can tell the exact moment when I quit on prepping the six pack.
Yo,
You know how you can tell you quit on it is because when you wrote it down in the actual rundown, you added a question mark almost as if you asked if this should be a segment.
yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
let us know who are your favorite playoff risers and droppers. Let us know. Let us know who are the 5 people you would nominate to be in the 100 men versus 1 gorilla debate. And of course, pick 2 and let the rest come for you. Let us know what your strategy is, which 2 are you picking, and how your team of rats will coordinate. So for myself, for Joseph Casciaro, who is long gone but never forgotten, Alex Wong, Jerome Chang. This has been the Hello and Welcome podcast presented by Betway. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you after lottery.